What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is probably gonna be my favorite video because I am sharing my vintage home decor collection. As many of you know, especially if you've watched some of my past videos, I love adding vintage to my home. I think vintage decor really helps warm a space, makes it feel special, and really makes it feel developed instead of as if I went out to Target or Home Goods and bought everything brand new that day and brought it home. It really makes your home feel special in my opinion. Now, so many of you have asked where I've purchased these items. You've wanted links for them. I'm going to do my best to find similar items to link down below. Because they're vintage, they are one of a kind. However, I am going to link some that you can get the same look or very similar. So all of these that I can find will be linked down below in the description, so make sure you check there. My favorite thing about vintage items is they're not made from the same mold, or at least the items that I purchase. I love very old, handcrafted items that patina and age and just has like a very worn look. It's just so special. So I'm gonna walk through my vintage items. I'm gonna share them with you and link everything below. So let's get into the video. The first thing, if you have been following me for a while, you know my obsession with vintage clay pots. They are hands down my favorite piece to decorate with because I think that they are so versatile and they are so stunning on their own. Now, one of my favorite things about vintage just in general is I don't actually think you need to fill the things up. I think vintage pieces on their own are loud enough and they say enough that you don't need to decorate more with them, if that makes sense. Put it on a coffee table on a stack of books and leave it alone by itself and it is going to be absolutely breathtaking and I don't need to add anything in it. And that's what I love about vintage pieces. My vintage clay pots are my favorite. I have big ones, I have small ones, and my friend was actually asking me because she's like, girl, what is with you and these vintage clay pots? You have so many. And my response is they're just not all the same. They have different tones, different patinas, different sizes, and different reasons that I use them for. So sometimes I need a medium-sized pot to put like utensils in, or maybe a different kind of floral in, or maybe I need a smaller one just to put into a bookshelf because it fits just perfectly in that space. And like I said, they're all so different and patina different, and they have different tones. Like this one pulls a little more cool, this one's a little bit more cool, where this one is a little bit more warm. And I like to use these with like beige books or on my coffee table because my coffee table, it has like a warm undertone. And I really feel like you need different options and you can move things throughout your house. So vintage pieces, I will be honest, like you're going to invest in them. They are not affordable, for lack of a better word. I mean, these little tiny pots can cost over $100. And to me, that's a lot for a little pot. However, I think that they are kind of like a designer bag where your cost per wear is going to be really good on that piece because you're going to have it for so long. And what's really cool about vintage is you can shop your home and like move it from place to place to place to place. Where I find when I go shopping at Target or Home Goods, not always, I do have some pieces that I keep forever or for a really long time, but oftentimes those are the items that end up in my donate pile. And with my vintage pieces, they're so special to me and I love them so much that I keep them for so much longer and I reuse them in different spaces and different reasons. For example, this vintage European dough bowl or tray, I have used this tray for so many different things. I have used this as a charcuterie board. I've used this to put cookies in. I flipped it over and put a cake on top of it, used it as a cake stand one time. I've used this as our fruit bowl. I've used this, gosh, for so many different things. Like I've put just a little bar station on here for Zach and I when we've watched our shows and put it on the coffee table, and we'll have like our drinks and we can just kind of pour it in here. I've also used this for guests when they come over to have a little tray on their bed, and I've had water bottles and their favorite snacks and extra chargers and just things that they don't have to ask about, and they have like a little welcome tray with different stuff on it. I find with my vintage pieces, I'm constantly recycling them and thinking outside of the box. And I do find myself doing that a little bit more with my vintage pieces. That's not to say you wouldn't do that with, you know, regular new pieces. Personally, I just get more excited with my vintage pieces. This little wood bowl is another really versatile piece. I like this for my coffee table. I like to just put it on a stack of books and put our remotes in here, or I've used this for so many other things too, like around the holidays if I want to put some like whole nuts inside here and that we can, you know, kind of grab, or, you know, lots of different things. I think you always need a bowl to corral things, and you can never have too many. Another coffee table item that I like are my limestone little bowls. I have these currently stacked up just like this on a stack of books on my coffee table. The next item that I want to share is this marble little tray right here. Now this has gone in and out of my decor. And actually some of this stuff, like if I'm kind of like, okay, I want to switch things up and I have nowhere to put some of my items, I will store it away and bring it out again like later on if I want to like redecorate a space or area. So sometimes my items might not be out on display. At least right now, when we get a house, I'll have more areas and more little spaces and nooks and things that I can do. But right now, being in an apartment, I, you know, am constantly like recycling things through, which does make me feel like I'm shopping all the time, but it's just stuff that I already have. Anyway, this tray was actually stored away and I haven't been using this for a while, but recently I was watching some AD on YouTube, and I was watching Kris Jenner's home tour. And in her bathroom, she had pretty much this exact same tray. Hers was a little bit bigger, so I'm a little jealous about that. But she had disposable hand towels in there. And I thought that this was brilliant, especially for the holidays and just current times that we're in. Having disposable hand towels just keeps things sanitary. Zach and I don't use these on the daily. We actually use a towel. But for guests and keeping things sanitary and making them feel comfortable, I thought that this was so smart. So good on Kris Jenner's designer for this little hack. I loved it. And I just thought it was, again, super special and totally my style and my aesthetic. So definitely taking this idea from Kris Jenner's designer. The next little tray looks just like that tray that I just showed, but it's little. And I originally got this thinking I was going to use it in one of my clients' homes. And then as soon as I got it home, I was like, no, that's definitely me. And I want to keep that for my space. Now, this is super cute. I got this for a jewelry, like to take my jewelry off next to my bedside table. I have another one that I got off of Amazon. I still love it and use it, but again, I do like to recycle my stuff out. So when I get bored of that one, I can go to this one and so on. And I also thought that this was really pretty because it's just the size of a bar of soap. So you could put this on your counter. You can use these for so many different things. Having little trays of any kind to corral items is seriously like awesome for home decor because you have all these little things. It adds more detail and more interest to your home. Aside from that dough bowl that I just shared you, the next item that I get questions about all the time is this little ladle thing here. I'm not sure what you call this. Someone actually left me a comment and told me what this was, and I cannot remember. It was so long ago. It was back when I bought this. I got this at a local little home decor. It was actually a design studio, and they had like a little store at the bottom. And I picked it up, and I knew exactly when I got it that it was gonna live right next to our stove with some finishing salt. So I have some finishing salt in here, and basically it just stays right there. And when we cook, we just take a little pinch and finish our food off. But I love this little piece, and I know so many of you do as well. I have linked similar options. I have found similar new options that weren't vintage, so I will see if I can find those as well. But this piece, again, it's just something so special. And one thing I like to do, especially like focusing on my kitchen, because normally when people come over, we hang out in the kitchen. So creating that experience and creating that aesthetic in my kitchen, to me, is super important, because people pay attention. They look around, they look at all the different things, and they gather ideas and inspiration for their own home. So I like to have unique little, special little unique things in my kitchen, like this little guy here. So I will definitely, like I said, link everything that I possibly can, or similar items, down below. The next is kind of the same idea. This is like a little stone bowl. Right now I just have some matches in Palo Santos in there. On Amazon, you can actually get like match striking stickers. Then you can just stick them right at the bottom of your pieces. I also reuse like my little mini Jo Malone candles or other candles. Same thing, you can get like that little striker. I'll link that down below as well, and create your own little match striker. But I also thought this could be cute as a salt cellar as well, or I do like this just on the coffee table alone without anything on a stack of books as well. Like I said, there's something about vintage. Vintage just doesn't need anything else. It is like the accessory. So I find when I am completing an area or a space, it's like the vintage is like the final touch, the cherry on top. So usually I don't really need to add a lot of other things, and that again is one of my favorite things about vintage. I also have this bowl right here. I've picked fresh herbs and have put this in my kitchen. I've shared that before, again, on a stack of books. I currently have this on a stack of Restoration Hardware magazines on a side table in our living room. I love this. Could also be really cute on a coffee table for your remotes. So many different ideas. I want to know if you are a vintage collector and maybe you collect similar items, what do you use your items for? Leave me a comment down below and maybe tell me something that you're super proud of yourself for thinking of, because I might need some more ideas. Okay. One of the first vintage items that I started collecting, aside from my vintage bowl, that's probably the oldest thing that I have. I've had that for about like 10 years now, the dough bowl. But I also used to collect, and I still do, I just have a harder time finding them lately for a good price, vintage books. And I just love just the wear of the pages. And I actually like to turn them outside. So if I have them on a bookshelf, I like to turn them out so I can see the wear of the pages instead of this way. Next is vintage textiles, and I actually got these from Salt Air Vintage. They sent these over to me. I still have yet to get inserts, and I really need to, because I really want to put this on my couch. It's absolutely beautiful. These are their hemp pillow covers, and again, it's just something so special about having these more worn look. I love them. They also sent over this one here in brown, which I thought was perfect for the fall. So October, November vibes, absolutely beautiful. From the beginning of my channel, I was sharing these paper mache bowls. I even have a video of me making a paper mache bowl that I gifted to my sister, and she loves it and uses it for her own home decor. But I'll link that video down below. But these, again, are just something special. I think these are beautiful on a console table. I think that these are a really nice scale to be able to fill some space. And I just love the way these look and feel, just like everything else. I actually originally bought those for a fruit bowl, but they kind of smelled a little funny and I was a little weirded out by them. So I never used them as a fruit bowl. However, I do use them as just like shelf decor, and I think that they're beautiful. Next is this bowl right here, which I am currently using as a fruit bowl. This dough bowl right here, I am currently using for apples because it's fall, apples are in season, plus we use them every day for our smoothies, but it also doubles as fall home decor. But this one is for pretty much all of our other fruits that we have or that we purchase. So this is on my counter right now. This thing is solid. I was trying to find this one online. I'm gonna have to look a little harder to see if I can find this, but it's a darker wood tone, and I was really attracted to that because I normally go for that like unfinished wood look that is a little bit lighter, almost just like they didn't do anything. They carved it and didn't do anything to it. This one looks a little bit more finished, and I really just felt like my home could use a little bit of that. And I do really, really love this one. And I get questions about it all the time, but like that deep brown is absolutely beautiful. I have more clay pots. I have lots of clay pots. They are my absolute favorite, and I just love to use them throughout my home. That one was a really great price, and I couldn't pass it up. It actually came with a little stand that I have out in our little outdoor closet, but look how cute. So cute. This little stool, you guys know this is one of my favorites. I knew exactly where this was going when I purchased it. I knew that this was going to go in our bathroom in the corner. I was going to put a candle on top. I just knew that that is what it was going to look like. Now for the future, I think that this is going to be like, you can use these for literally anywhere in your home, in a little corner that just feels a little awkward in your bathroom next to a tub. I've seen so many designers and homes that have had these next to the tub with bowls, with different, if you had one of these little bowls right on top and you put some soap in there, or you could just fold up some towels in a guest bathroom and place them right on top for your guests to have fresh towels. These are, again, another really versatile piece, and I find that I'm saying that so much with the vintage decor, and that's just because they're that special touch that you put in a room. Because I loved the round stool so much, when I saw this one, I knew that I would use it and have so many different places to put this little stool. And the way that it was placed in the store that I got it from, she had it next to a linen chair, which was beautiful. I don't have a linen chair. I have a dark gray couch. And next to the dark gray couch, it almost got lost. The patina didn't like really complement the couch very well, and the couch didn't complement the little stool. So I have it in my bedroom right now. Again, this is a piece that can be used for so many different areas. If you just have a little nook that needs a special little piece or whatever, these are literally, you can use them for so many different things. This dough bowl right here, I'm gonna actually do a little like clip of all of this stuff. That dough bowl is absolutely massive, and it was actually an accident purchase. I got it off of Etsy. I had no idea that it was gonna be that big. I thought I measured it, and then when I got it, I was like, what the heck? I love it. I get questions about it all the time. You guys always wanna know where I got this. I love it. I'm so happy that it was an accident and that it came so much bigger than I thought, because it truly is so special. I am losing light quickly, but this is a vintage breadboard. I absolutely love the patina on this. I love just thinking like, was this in a restaurant? Who did this belong to? Like, was this a startup? I just love all of that kind of stuff, but this is a special piece. I don't really put my food on it because it is really old and it just kind of gives me a little creeps. So I just use it as decor, and I love this piece. At my feet, I have two huge vintage clay pots. Let me see if I can pick them up and show you guys. Here's one. Here's my other one. Whew, these are huge. They're massive. Those clay pots are my babies. I love them so much. There's times when I just like stare at them because I just think they are so beautiful. I just see them right now living in an apartment. It is hard to really decorate with them the way that I want to, but I know that they're going to be in the most beautiful place. I cannot wait to decorate in our next space with them. But I see them being used with, you know, faux olive tree, or maybe even real olive tree on like a console, or really in any space that just needs something big to put in that area just to fill it up. And I just love them. I think that they are absolutely beautiful. Now behind me, I have a medium-sized clay pot. I have a lot of clay pots, they're my favorite. This again is just another, it's just a piece that's bigger than the other ones. This one doesn't have handles, so it is a little bit different. And this one usually stays on my bedside table. I love it. It's absolutely like one of my favorites. They're all my favorite. All my vintage stuff is my favorite. I don't know why I keep saying that. The last two items are my vintage mirrors. Now the gold one, I get questions about every single time I post a video with this mirror behind us. Now that is a piece that was handed down to Zach and I from his family, and it's vintage. However, I have seen other mirrors online, and I'll see if I can find some vintage ones that I can link down below, but it is vintage and I don't have a link for it, but it is absolutely beautiful. And that's why I say, like, invest in a gilded mirror, because these gilded mirrors, gold mirror, they don't go out of style. They will always be so special in a space. And then the square mirror is actually kind of like a cool story. So I was at a vintage store back in, no, it wasn't. It was a thrift store back in Oregon, and it was just a frame. And I was like, I want to make a mirror out of this. So I went to Lowe's and they cut the mirror. Actually, they didn't even have to cut it because they had a piece that fit exactly. And then I just got a piece of plywood, closed it off. I glued it to the plywood, closed it off, put it in there, and then just put some of those little like ring, like screws, and then some wire, and now it's a mirror. And I love this mirror so much. It has been so many different colors. It started out as gold, which I wish more than anything that I didn't paint it, but it is what it is. I did, and now I have to live with it. So I painted it a light gray back when that was in style, and then I painted it, tried to go back gold, and it just, like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. So then I eventually found, I believe this paint color is called Espresso Bean by Bear, I believe is what it's called. If it's different, I will put that information down in the description. But what I loved about the Espresso Bean by Bear is that it's like almost like that chocolate brown, almost black. And to me, that's such a like old world paint color. I feel like in old cities and old bars and, you know, places that really try to hold on to that old world always use this paint color. And I will have a little powder room in our house one of these days that will be this color, because it is the most like sexy, romantic paint color ever, and I cannot wait to have that moody vibe. But I made that mirror essentially, and you could do that too. Go get you know, a frame and frame it and paint it, and it's honestly one of my favorite pieces. I love it so much. It will be with us forever, and I think that's the thing that I love so much about my vintage collection is it's special. Most of the time when I purchase my vintage pieces, there's no question about it. Like, will it go here? Will it not? It's like it always vibes with our home, and it makes it feel special. And I love vintage pieces. I just feel like there's nothing that makes me feel more happy and more at peace and more at home than being surrounded by these pieces, some of them that have been around for hundreds of years. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this haul, I guess. It's not really a haul, it's my collection. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you want to see more like this. And I will see you guys in a couple days with another. Bye.